Hey now, good morning, happy Monday. PASW staff, clients, friends joining us for TV Scoring Monday. This is what we've been doing. We've been having a lot of fun doing that. We did Game of Thrones last week, then we did Stranger Things. So different score, electronic score for Stranger Things, epic orchestral score for Game of Thrones. It was Journey-like. So today we're going to do a different type of very popular show that's still airing, that's still premiering rather. And we're going to look at the score to this. So today, let's take a look at Succession.
Everything I've done in my life, I've done for my children. I know I've made mistakes, but I've always tried to do the best by them because I love them.
Have you thought about the possibility that your children are actually scared of you?
I want a broadcast network. I want to see what other news operations we can sweep up.
Local TV?
Dad, nobody watches TV.
Why shouldn't we do all the news?
Well, Kim Jong pop, because that's not how things work in this country.
We have a major problem. He's erratic. He's making bad decisions. If he's not careful, he's going to destroy the company.
Emily, you gonna do something?
I think I'm the best option.
Oh, right, because you like playing boss?
This is my vision. I take over, you two under me.
Under you. Can we think about it?
This family's broken, and that has consequences.
Kick out the old man, in with the new guard.
Where you been?
I was meeting about a prospective job.
With your father's enemy?
Disagreeing with Dad is not treason.
You want this enough to go to war with your family?
It's rebellion. Sabotage. Deliberate attempt to undermine my whole business.
That's the death pit. Take a look.
I feel like I might not like it in the death pit.
Stock's gone below 130.
We could death spiral here.
Who's in charge right now?
So Succession, HBO show, premiered 2018, and it's still going on. The fourth season, I think it's the final one right now. This is actually a show that I have been watching, so the other two I didn't watch, but it's not about me. It's a black comedy. We've talked about those terms. Basically, it follows the Roy family, and so Logan Roy is Brian Cox, and he is the patriarch of the family. He's kind of like a Rupert Murdoch. It's kind of based on the Hearst and the Murdochs. Not based, but influenced by. And they own this big media company, kind of like Fox, it would be like, and they're fighting for control. And he is getting old, so there's people that want to take over the company, and it's filled with a lot of laughter and dark humor, but basically, they're under the reign of this kind of tyrant who's their dad, and very powerful man, and it's a lot of fun, very stressful. So they're on their fourth season now, and critically acclaimed. But we're here to talk about the music. Music's by Nicholas Britell, and it's got a combination of hip hop and classical music. We haven't talked about that combination. We're not even sure what that is. We know those two types of music, but what would that sound like? Hip hop with a beat, but there's jazz and classical in it. Britell, Juilliard graduate and Harvard graduate, so very smart, and scored Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk. Both of those had nominations for Best Score at the Academy Awards, so he's very, he's a great composer. Works a lot with Adam McKay and Will Ferrell too, and so they produced this show, Succession. So let's begin by just taking a look at the opening theme of what's going on here. So those are home movies of the family. It doesn't take place in that era. These are home movies. Okay, just for context. So what do we hear? Okay, so the main theme of this is very easy if we look at it from a music theory point. There's just 4 chords in the whole thing, and we'll get into that. But it's kind of layered with hip hop beats, right? With strings and brass, piano. So there's percussion instruments in the theme. Dissonant notes in it that we'll look at. But that's the instrumentation, right? Cool feel, got a hip hop feel. But what's going on? 4 chords: C minor, A flat, F minor, G. G is the 5th, the 5. 5 always goes back to 1, right? Most of the time. In this case, it's a minor 1. So but he uses this throughout all the episodes, this progression. But sometimes it sounds different. This is just the theme music, but sometimes they'll do it with solo piano, sometimes they'll do it with string ensemble, and basically just repeats and vamps those 4 chords. So to strip it down, let's take a look at just somebody who did it on solo piano, just so we can hear the 4 chords and hear the melody. So the chords are going on the left hand, right? Right hand, that's the melody. It sounds Baroque-like. There's a lot of ornamentation going back to Bach that we talked about ornamentation, coloring, right? But there's dissonance too. But it sounds like Bach a little bit, but like jazz more, right? Jazz in the right hand. Bud Powell, perhaps. We're going to re-look at Dave Brubeck on Thursday, a jazz pianist. Just FYI, so later we'll do that. But there's ornamentation and kind of jazz riffs in the right hand with dissonance. He's outlining the chord, so he's not just doing the arpeggios of the chord, he's going outside of the chord to make it more interesting and colorful, and that's what it sounds like. So it's jazz chord progressions, but it's got a strong downbeat and pulse, right? So that's going to be important for the emotion of the show, because it's a very tense show. Even though it's funny, it's mostly a drama. In fact, the solo piano version reminds me of Rachmaninoff, Prelude in C sharp minor, just a little bit. That strong downbeat, it's very, very dramatic, right? So he's going to be doing that, playing those chords, repeating those chords, but then for the theme music, he's going to use hip-hop elements. Now, the main character, Jeremy Strong, who's the actor, likes hip-hop, so maybe his character likes hip-hop. So maybe there's a clash between classical and hip-hop too, but for the theme, it's meshing together well. That's just maybe one idea, because it's about family dynamics and how great, and stressful that can be. So let's take a look at the theme without any music, and let's see what we think. So we need a score, right? We need something to put there. Let's find a dark hip hop jazz piece. We've never done this before. No lyrics, so see if we can find a dark jazz / hip hop piece. Because our job in this, even though we broke it down to 4 chords, our job is to replicate music that sounds like it could be for the opening credits. So let's think of some ideas together, and I'll talk about this more on Zoom too. So that's it. That's Succession. Get some ideas into me by tomorrow. That'd be great. And have a great rest of the day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.